Both of you for being here tonight. Joe, let me start with you. Isn't it time for an arrest, Joe?
Absolutely. You're 100% right. It is time for arrest, and given the evidence and the discussion you have had previously to this discussion, this segment, it's very clear. And one of the concerns that the attorneys have expressed about a grand jury that people should know is that, one, grand juries are secretive. So someone can go into a grand jury and actually put on a weak case, and we would never know who the grand jury members are. Would never know what was said inside that grand jury room, and they could clean their hands. The third part of it is that the makeup of the jury pool in Sanford is not as diverse as we would want it to be. So you've got that problem, and it is time for an arrest. Enough is enough.
Well, let me ask you, Ms. McClain. You know Angela Curry from your victim rights group. You've interacted with her on murder cases. Now, when Joe talks about a prosecutor presenting a weak case, just from your working and dealing with her on victims' cases, what would you say is her commitment to victims if she's convinced they're victims?
She's going to do the right thing. Number one, she's going to do the right thing. Angela Cora has a concern and a passion for victims. And we know we're standing with her, whatever decision comes, but I know she's going to do the right thing. Now,
when you say she's going to do the right thing, and that'll be wherever the evidence takes her.
That's right.
She took the case exactly a week ago. Based on your own experience with her, is it going to be is she a swift-moving prosecutor, or is she more methodical and going to take a longer time?
She's going to take her time and get the answers. She's going to do her job.
Now, let me go through Special Prosecutor Angela Curry on a Jacksonville case where the shooter is claiming self-defense. She said, quote, "We have charged that man and he's claiming self-defense, claiming he was in fear. We charged him, and if he fights it on stand your ground, we're going to fight back." So she has stood up against people that use this, Joe, if she felt that they shouldn't use it. Does that encourage those of us that think this is misapplied here, Joe?
Oh, I think we should be encouraged, and I don't want to give the impression that I'm besmirching her reputation. I'm talking about the process, and I think that what we want is her to prosecute this in the open. That's what I'm really saying, versus a grand jury, because once again, you don't know who the jury is. You will never know who the jury members are. So my concern is that if it's going to be prosecuted, let's see, you know what we want? We want to see him handcuffed, charged, in jail, and arrested, and then we're not looking for revenge. We are looking for justice.
Well, that's all, and that's all we've asked from the beginning, and our call for arrest is that there was probable cause. Let it be tried before a judge and a jury, not in a courtroom. Let me come back to you, though, Beverly. Angela Curry's resume shows someone that is not necessarily one way or another. She's a Republican, elected state attorney in 2008, endorsed as, quote, aggressive and tough by local sheriffs. She's well known for prosecuting a 12-year-old as an adult in a murder case. So it doesn't say she'd be leaning any way toward public pressure, certainly from those of us that consider ourselves progressive. But if she's tough on crime, we think the crime is clearly here with the tapes, so this could go either way.
Angela is going to stand her ground. She's going to do the right thing, and she's going to get the facts, and she's going to do what she got to do. That's the Angela Cora I know.
All right. Joe, let me go back to you a minute. When I first got the call from the family and the attorney to get involved, and you got involved, it was not known nationally that well. Many of the things that was done that you and I were involved in helped to bring it to the national forefront. Now it is considered by one poll the biggest story in the country. Therefore, what is the national impact from the result of this case? When you have the Pew report saying 25% of the American public is watching this case more than the elections or the economy, the ramifications of this case will be widespread on cases like this that, frankly, we fought for many years.
And what we're finding across this country, Reverend Al, we're probably going to have to get together and go to a place like Dayton, Ohio, where we just talked about a case this morning.
Right.
Young man shot there 22 times by 2 security guards, and it's possible a hate crime because the car caught fire, and allegedly the security guards, the white guards, said, "Let the end burn." I mean, and I'm telling you, this is. It's got to stop. This is what's going to happen. And
I don't care whether the victims are black or Latino for immigration or whites or gays or lesbians or women. It has to stop.
It has to stop.
Joe Madison, Beverly McLean, thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be right back.